Let's start with some Rocky talk, because I know you guys like Rocky. Sly Stallone was doing an interview with Variety and revealed that he owns 0% of the Rocky franchise.
Wow.
Even to this day.
I just did the fucking Owen Wilson.
Wow, I know.
Totally accidentally.
But how?
Wow.
Yeah.
How is that possible?
Well, he gave up the rights, obviously, to star in it. And he made money off of Rocky, just the script and the acting.
Is that what he said?
And then, let me get the quote up, because it's interesting. He went back and asked, and basically the rights holders were like, you're making millions in all the movies you're doing. And so let me get the quote. He thankfully brought back his I mentioned it a few times because after Rocky II came out and made a ton of money, and then Rocky III hit and made more than all of them, I said I'd like to have some ownership since I invented it. And that never happened. So I have 0 ownership of Rocky.
Wow.
I think there was a certain code of business conduct, maybe not as much now, but back then, that you don't ruffle the feathers of the golden goose. The studio is the power, the agency relies upon them, and the attorneys are the go-betweens. When I finally confronted them just before Rocky IV, I said, does it bother you guys that I've written every word, I've choreographed it, I've been loyal to you, I've promoted it, directed it, and I don't have 1% that I could leave for my children? And the quote was, you got paid. And that was the end of the conversation. Wow.
Okay, so I guess to play devil's advocate for a second here.
I'm not shocked.
Shocker.
Because you guys know I really like Sly, and morally speaking, absolutely. But if you're a studio, I don't know if once somebody gives up their rights, what the benefit for them is, other than it's the right thing to do, which is not what they give a crap about.
Right.
What the benefit is, I guess it would be to keep him and keep him happy, but clearly they were keeping him.
Yeah.
So,
like, do you think that nowadays, if the actor, like, let's just say a Rocky franchise, let's say they're going to make Creed 3, and Michael B. Jordan says, I'm not going to play Creed 3 unless I get 2% of the franchise going
but
forward.
He didn't invent it, though. That's the difference. That's the difference. But, I mean, I think that if someone nowadays, to kind of go where you're going here, let's say Michael Jordan did invent Creed when you come up with it originally, and he was unknown.
Michael B. Jordan?
You better bet your ass that his agent is going to make that deal up top that, look, this is what he's going to get.
Right.
Because all the franchise, because this is a very different time.
Sly didn't have that either. Not even just different time. Sly had nothing.
But it was a different time because it was back, this was 76. Star Wars hadn't even come out. Or 76 was when it came out, the first Rocky. So Star Wars even came out. So it was a big franchise thing. It wasn't a thing. No one would have thought back then that, first of all, he would have been able to star in it.
Right.
And then second, that this movie, this small movie that costs like, what, $10,000 to make, would become Rocky.
You would like,
know?
Oh, yeah. Totally.
You would like to think that people do the right thing because it's the right thing, or to make the other party happy. And really, it would be smart business to keep Sly very happy.
Right.
But that being said, I'm no part of this surprises me, because why, in the studio's eyes, why would they give up money?
I think that there would be a better argument to going back to the agent argument is after Rocky III made all that money, because when Rocky IV was made, people were chomping at the bit for Rocky IV.
Yeah.
That's when he should have made his deal. He should have made the deal.
Or
Like,
I'm not
That's when he
coming back.
asked. But that's when he asked. That's the
that's
whole
when he
quote.
asked.
He right before Rocky IV,
Oh, is
and
that
this
what
is
he
my
said?
point. Yeah,
But
he's
that's what
coming in.
he said.
That's what he said. He goes in,
But they told him no.
says, "I choreographed everything. I wrote everything. I started everything. I did blah 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 blah." And it's Sly at that point after Rocky III.
no
and this
points
is the-
on it or anything.
This
But
is
that's
he
the
should have gotten
biggest
points
he's
on
been.
it.
I
He
think
should have
you guys
gotten
are
points on it.
misreading that. That's not what happened. He didn't say, in order for me to come back to this
Right.
next movie, this is what I
No,
need.
I know he didn't. He just asked
He
for it.
created it,
Right.
and then didn't even. He said, "Don't you guys think that that's wrong?"
Right.
And
right.
they said, "No, you're getting paid for all the movies, and they're probably looking at his career going." You
You're doing
also
good
have
right now.
you're doing
Yeah.
very well right now.
100%. And it's not right. It's not right
Right.
that he has no ownership over it.
I mean, he probably doesn't have any ownership over his likeness on the
Right.
action figures.
Yeah.
See, there are
It's not- it's not right, but it
there are
makes
certain
sense.
movies that where people get involved. Like Keanu Reeves shouldn't have, and I know he didn't write or direct the Matrix, but he shouldn't have ownership of it because you can plug in anybody there, right? And Stallone, Robert
might get some
Redford,
argument.
and all those people that were supposed to play Rocky, it's not the same movie. It's
I
not the
don't
same
think
franchise.
anybody else could play Neo other than Keanu.
Really?
That was a joke. I haven't seen The Matrix.
She's never seen The Matrix. Yeah,
Nicely done, Rob.
yeah,
Those
it's
new
good.
Neo, right?
Yeah, it's really good.
Red pill, blue pill, baby.
It's true. I think my
I still don't know which one's which, and I've seen it a bunch of times. I always forget. Is the red one the bad one?
It's got to be Keanu.
the red pill is Keanu. You think?
He takes it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what
stuff.
makes him smaller.
Let me
Good talk.
question.
Am I getting there?
Do you think
Alice in Wonderland.
It's actually why that movie is referenced during that speech.
Okay.
So you're not too far off.
what
Nice.
what do you think do you think there's been discussions since? There's gotta be.
I mean, at this point,
You mean about Creed?
Or any of them.
See, like Rambo, he definitely doesn't get.
No.
Because he didn't create Rambo.
No.
So that's crazy.
I feel like, and also incredibly successful, so there's a lot of good things too, but Hollywood has effed with Sly a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, he's had to overcome so many things and work very.
Yeah.
Everybody in the industry worked hard.
Who did we
but-
just have on? It was Frank. I think it was Grillo, and I talked to him about that. People don't realize this because Rocky Balboa eventually became successful. Creed 1 and Creed 2, they wouldn't touch Rocky 6 from like 90 until what is it, 2003 or 2006?
Rocky Balboa came out
2006.
Yes, yeah.
And because he couldn't get it made, because nobody wanted, and it was a very different time back then. Where now the nostalgia and all that's hot.
Right.
People wanted nothing to do with Rocky 6 because Rocky 5 was such a dud and it didn't work well. He was trying, and this was, you could have seen a younger Rocky again, but the studios did not want it. He had to, and another Rambo, he tried to do that too. It was before the nostalgia craze hit.
Expendables.
Right.
Expendables comes out, nostalgia. It has all the great action heroes together. I think that's what really.
But he had Balboa first. Rocky
Was
Balboa.
that Balboa?
Rocky
Yeah.
Balboa came out before Expendables.
All right, I give you